Hello everybody, CW here. I got some Contender barrels out, and this is darn near everything I have minus 3 barrels. Yeah, minus 3. I got a 30 Harriet that I bought a couple weeks ago that's still coming in. It's slow because of Christmas shipping, so that should be here hopefully this week. I'm anxious to get that and play with that one. And then this one just came in. This is a 22 long rifle. This one is my Octagon 218B. I got an Octagon 3220 in the safe. This is a 10-inch Bull 357 mag. I got a 10-inch 45 Colt barrel in the safe. Exactly the same dot, same everything. This one here is my 730 Waters. This has got the 4-power Tasco Pro Class or Euro Class, or what is it? Pro Class on it. Euro Class, I guess, is the rifle scopes, but 30 millimeter. And this one is, this is a wow. This is also one I recently got. This is an MGM 357 Maximum. And I was able to shoot all these last week. Well, these are new. Last week, and very impressed. This one here, it was really cold. I couldn't shoot a lot, so I basically shot one load out of this, I shot one load out of this, and I shot 4 loads out of this, but only a few shots of each, so not a whole lot. And I shot this one load. This is the worst accuracy. It was probably 2 inches at 50 yards, so it wasn't awful. It just wasn't as good as the rest. So it also only had a red dot where the rest of them have scopes. Shouldn't have been a big negative, but that's how it shot. But it was only 1 load, so I'm not worried. It's fine. I shot the 730 Waters next. This was 1 load. It was just a cast bullet load with Reloader 7, and it shot under 1 inch, almost touching at 50 yards. Really impressed. But I was using Gen X primers, and I was getting lots of misfires. And I was a little upset about it. I planned on shooting up 40 rounds just to fire form them. I was just disgusted, so I stopped. I made it through like 15 or so, and I just stopped. I won't be buying Gen X primers anytime soon. Anyway, I went over to I think I actually went to this next, but we talked about that already. I went to this one last, because the pin is really tight and I didn't want to fight with it in the cold weather. So I figured all these could go in and out pretty easy. And I tapped this one in, and then if I couldn't get it out, or if I had troubles, or if I was too cold, or whatever, I could leave this barrel on and just come home. So I shot 2 different cast loads in here, and I shot 1 jacketed load, and 2 jacketed loads. And man, this thing is a laser beam. All the loads touched. All the bullet holes touched. All I shot was a 3-shot group with 2 different cast bullets. And then I shot a 5-shot group with my 180 grain long time load with 1680 powder, and touched 50 yards. Bullets were touching. And then I shot 10 of the 140 FTX that I loaded special for this with 1680 as a trial, because it was recommended by the seller of the barrel. And it was a comma. It was a ragged comma that it shot twice. 2 5-shot groups, both of them touching, both of them in a comma. And the comma had a ball at the end, so it had like 3 shots touching into a clover, and then 2 that made a tail, all touching. Very impressed. No chronograph, too cold, don't know. Don't really know. I know the 1680 180 grain load was going about 18 and change out of a 17.5 inch barrel. So I imagine it's probably going a couple hundred less out of a 14-inch barrel at most. I'm hoping that 140 is up there, 1900. It should be, but I don't know. Got to check it and see. Again, no chronograph reading of this, but I don't really care how fast this was going. It was a fire forming load. And all I shot out of the long rifle was PMC moderator, just because it was what was on the top of the box. It's a good bullet. It shoots really good. It's a good lot. And it shot about an inch, maybe a tad more, but right at an inch. But that's a pistol at 50 yards, shooting an inch. So I can't complain about that at all. And I think finding the load, I think that'll come down, because heck, my really accurate rifles shoot an inch with regular mediocre stuff. So with that bullets this likes, it's probably going to be really good. So I'm kind of excited. Didn't shoot the 218B. I know how it shoots. And of course the 30 Harriet, we don't have it yet. But this was a scope that I had that I just threw on here so that I could shoot it. I was waiting for this scope, which we'll talk about now, to go on here. But now I'm having second thoughts, and I don't know. I kind of have to do some thinking. What I want to do with this barrel. I don't know. I've got the Chipmunk and the Cricket, the bolt action 22s. One's a Magnum, one's a long rifle. Those can be my accurate guns. I don't really need this to be an accurate, you know, a target only range gun. And I say it that way just because you put a big honking scope on it, it shoots really good on the target, but you don't want to be carrying it around. And if I wanted to hunt with it, squirrels or whatever, do I really want that? So I don't know. I have to decide. I don't have any other pistol scopes other than the one that I just got in, and the one I just got in is another 7 power. I grabbed it because the price was right, and it's a target turret Jap glass Simmons fixed 7 power with an AO. So that's real important to me on pistol stuff and on rimfires, an AO. The target turrets are nice, but you know, not mandatory. Nice and tactile. I didn't get to talk to the seller at all. He was not very talkative. I did send a couple messages. He never replied. So I don't know. The scope had more ring marks than I expected, but I was able to clean them up. The glass was good. It's got a little bit of smudge on the front. I got to work on it a little bit. My leather pad is not as good as it was, so it's not taking the smudges off. So I don't know. I got to look and see what I got. I got a cloth here. Maybe I'll try it here on screen while we're talking. So I got to decide, do I want this big scope? Because it's bigger than I expected it to be. It's a little heavier than I expected it to be. Now remember, I've got this same version in a Burris on the long rifle Chipmunk. It mostly came off. It's a finger smudge. And I love it. But that gun is really only ever going to be a target range plinking toy. So it doesn't need to be lighter weight or smaller. The 22 mag has a standard Burris 7 power. So no target turrets, no adjustable objective. But the scope is yay longer than this one. It's lighter, but it's longer. It's even bigger. And if I wanted to put it on that long rifle, I'm just afraid of what it's going to look like. This, I think, will still be okay. It's only a little bigger than this Simmons, which is a relatively small compact scope. I've got this 2-power Leopold, which I was saving for the Harriet. But maybe this is better for the Harriet. This is better somewhere else. This is better somewhere else. I don't know. I got to do some thinking and decide. It's probably going to cause some musical scopes to go on. I'm pretty satisfied here because this is going to be a hunting gun. This has got a 4 power on it. I don't want any more than that. 4 power will let me reach out, you know, past 100 yards easy. This is a solid, I don't know that I'd ever push it to 200, but I think it would do it with the proper loads. I don't see myself ever doing that with it, but don't know. But it's well suited with this 4 power like this. So we're going to leave that one. This one here is probably going to see the most hunting use, And this is a 3-power, fixed 3-power. And it's really nice for the task. It's got a good field of view. It's really good glass. Don't look down your nose at Tasco, especially these older Pro and Euro class, the 30mm stuff. This is top quality stuff. Top quality. People are realizing it. If you look at the prices of it on eBay, they're right there with any of the premium scopes. You know, you're looking at $300 to buy this. You know, upper mid 2s to 3, upper mid 3s to buy this, because everybody knows it's good. It's really good glass. I don't even know that it was really made by Tasco or made somewhere else for them and then marked. But it's really, really good glass. Etched glass crosshairs, etched in the glass crosshairs, floating dot, tapered crosshair with a floating dot. This one's got the same reticle. Really, really, really good glass. And like I said, how good this shoots, this is going to see the most use for sure. It's a heavier bull than the Thompson Center. The Thompson Center bulls are tapered, so they're a little bigger at this end than they are at this end. And it's not so obvious in the 10s, but in the 14s you can really see it. You know, in this one here you can really see it. It's a smaller barrel than the MGM. And it goes tight on the gun. It closes tight. It's just, you can feel the better made barrel. Better fit, higher tolerances, tighter tolerances, yada, yada, yada. And it shoots lights out. So I just got to decide. You know, I got red dots on my 45 Colt 357 mag and this B. And I like them. They work really well. They shoot really well. They do everything I need them to do. But if I wanted to reach out at all, and you know, how far are you going to reach out with a 10-inch, you know, little skinny tapered barrel B? Although it shoots really good, it'll shoot one hole at 25 yards, even with this red dot. You know, it probably warrants a better optic. But for what I do, like with the 45 Colt and the 357, this is beautiful. This is great. It really is. It's not a limiting factor for accuracy at all. Once you shoot a handgun well, you can shoot these dots just as well. And if you don't think you can, it's probably mostly in your head or in your ability to shoot a handgun. And I'm not slighting anybody. I'm just saying that's the facts. Red dots, good red dots, are not a limiting factor in accuracy. As long as you get a good fine dot and you can shoot a handgun well. But the biggest thing is here. This would work really well on here, but I just don't know. It's 7 power. It's kind of hard to get things up close, see things up close that are moving. You know, hunting situation. This being a 2 or 2.5, up to 7. You know, I can get the same power with less weight and less size. I don't know. Like I said, I gotta think. This might be better over here on the Harriet, which will have the power to reach out on big game to, you know, past 100 yards or to 100 yards at least. And I'm going to do a video all on the Harriet. There's not a lot out there. There's one guy out there, something Gundog 66 or something. He's got a bunch of videos on the 300, on the 30 Harriet. And of course our friend Curtis in Michigan has a bunch of videos on a lot of the Contender stuff, and he did a lot with a 30 Harriet, shooting for silhouette competitions and target workup, load workups and stuff. I think it's his dad's 14-inch barrel he shoots. Anyway, shout out to Curtis there. Go check out his channel, and you search 30 Harriet and you'll pull up his videos. So this is probably a better scope on the Harriet, but I don't know if I want to saddle the long rifle to a fixed 2X. And in the same regard, I don't know if I want to saddle it with a fixed 7, because that might be too much power. I don't know. I gotta think. I don't necessarily have to decide here. You know, we're talking here for 14 minutes, and I didn't want to make a huge long video, but that's the way they go. I don't know. And in any regard, you know, these are going to stay. This is going to stay. These are the ones that are in flux. And I'm really thinking of putting more power on that B because I can utilize it. I can utilize it more. It's my only 22 center fire in the Contender. It'll do coyotes for me nicely. And having a little bit of power on there would be nice. This scope would be nice on there. But I could do the same thing with the Harriet. I could take the 30 Harriet out for coyotes as well. And I think I would shoot the Harriet more than I would shoot the bee. This is one of my oldest barrels, along with the 3220, and I kept it because they're octagons. You don't find them very often, and they're kind of neat. They're classy. So, you know, this might be the classy way to go. Right there, throw that Leopold on there. It's a classy scope on a classy caliber. And then throw this one on there. And then I just got to decide on the long rifle, do I throw a red dot on it? Or do I throw the big 7 power? That'll help me decide. Throw it down in the comments. Help me decide what you think. You know what I'm wanting to do with it. I've told you, I will shoot these challenges. I still am going to be working on, once warm weather gets here, I'm going to be working on a 22 handgun challenge because I want to include handgun. I think it's a missed market for us. I think it's something that we all obviously have. If I could promote that, we might pick up some fringe shooters that aren't out there and maybe want to contribute with handgun stuff. And not just contenders. You know, I want to make it to do it with Mark IIs and Brownings and Smith & Wessons and the like. So that's my thinking. So help me decide. These are the 3, 218B, 22 long rifle, and 30 Harriet. I'm pretty sure I like this. The Leopold over there on the B. The 2 to 7, 2.5 to 7 Simmons on the Harriet. But the long rifle. Does it get a red dot? Or do I go with this big 7 power like I have on the other long rifles? This one will let me squeak out accuracy. Make it a bit of a sniper. I don't know. Help me decide. All right. God bless everybody. Rumble only video. I'm still in jail on YouTube. I don't know what's going on over there. So Rumble only. God bless everybody. Merry Christmas. CW out.